Cybercrime has become the big threat of the new technological age, with one expert calling 2011 the year of the hacker. That's been borne out with a major development in a 6-month federal police probe, the arrest of a New South Wales man who dubs himself Evil. The AFP gave 7:30 exclusive TV access to the officer in charge of the investigation. Here's Sarah Dingle.
The central New South Wales town of Cowra, population about 10,000, seems an unlikely base for international cybercrime. But this is where police claim a 25-year-old sometime truck driver spent hours on end roaming the internet looking for targets. Online, he developed a new identity as a hacker called Evil.
Self-taught. No formal IT security skills or IT skills more broadly. He's obviously incensed with the internet, and some days we've actually had him on the internet for 20 hours a day.
As his expertise grew, so did his confidence. Officers allege that Evil constantly bragged about his exploits online. It was a habit, they say, which brought him undone when someone who read his posts tipped off the authorities.
Basically what we were doing was basically seeing what he was doing as he was attacking different companies, and the one of particular note became Platform Networks.
It's no small target. Platform Networks is one of 13 trusted internet providers, assisting with the introduction of the National Broadband Network.
But we're alleging that this is probably the largest hacking case of its known type.
With the alleged hacker unaware he was being monitored, police were being briefed and preparing for an arrest. Yesterday, officers raided the home of David Cecil, seizing hard drives in connection with the alleged crimes.
What he'd basically done is he'd tunnelled into their system. He had bypassed their firewalls. He'd also bypassed all their security systems, that he basically was in a position where he was mapping their infrastructure, which enabled him, if you like, to be in a position to compromise not only the network more broadly, but also the system, where he could basically collapse it if he seemed necessary to do so.
So how long did he have his finger on the switch?
Well, we're certainly aware of the fact that he has been in Platform Networks since the 16th of June 2011.
We were collecting evidence, trying to work out what type of traffic this was and whether it was just a virus or whether it was a person specifically trying to target our system.
The General Manager of Platform Networks, David HOOTON, says the company first became suspicious about malicious traffic 6 months ago. But he insists the hack only affected his company, not the National Broadband Network itself.
Any of the systems which he had touched, he could have potentially done anything that he liked, but we have some excellent disaster recovery and backup procedures in place, which include off-site data backups and also include having non-digital backups of data.
7:30 understands police are investigating whether David Cecil was also behind a hack which wiped out almost 5,000 Australian websites. In early June, web hosting company Distribute IT was the target of what it called a very deliberate, coordinated and malicious attack. Melbourne cafe Self-Preservation was one of the victims.
Our website went down and all my emails went down. I think it was probably a couple of weeks after that till we actually fixed the emails, but our website is still down.
Companies lost records, digital trade and potential customers. An online attack with serious economic consequences.
Like, I'm sure that, a lot of people that would normally come and visit us probably couldn't access, to find out where we were at that time.
Ego's got the better of him.
It's understood police are investigating David Cecil's possible involvement in a January hack on the University of Sydney. The attack disabled the university's website, leaving an insulting message for the university's network administrator.
2011 has become the year of the hacker. If the AFP can get a conviction out of this, it's definitely a big tick in the box for them.
Ty Miller calls himself a white hat hacker, someone who uses his skills to protect commercial clients. He says there's been a spate of recent high-profile hacks around the world, with few deterrents.
So lone hackers are often after bragging rights, where they'll go into things like forums or IRC channels or defacement archives, where they'll basically post out their hacks that they've performed and the number of attacks that they've successfully carried out.
The simple reality is that when you commit a crime online, you're leaving a lot of evidence around the place, and that evidence can lead to your arrest and conviction.
Clearly, with the explosion of the uptake
Internet
of
security expert and former federal agent ALASTAIR MACGIBBON says there's no room for complacency.
We need to start seeing that this isn't just some frivolous pastime or something that sits on the edge of society. The internet now is very much the hub of what we do from a business, government and indeed our private lives. I don't yet see that step change in terms of government effort.
Where the challenge is that the needle in the haystack scenario is actually finding the offender, because there's so many people out there on the internet. And again, it's interesting that this particular matter was resolved primarily by an anonymous tip on a telephone. So back to the old community policing methodology.
All these claims are yet to be tested, with David Cecil facing 49 hacking charges. Today he was denied bail in Orange local court, with prosecutors concerned that if he had internet access, Mr Cecil could tamper with the evidence.
It's not just a law enforcement problem. I mean, law enforcement can be reactive and proactive in relation to the investigation of these type of crimes. But like any crime, the community needs to take some ownership of the issue themselves. And this is where it's important for people to actually put security on their computers, update their passwords, but ultimately we need to tackle this problem together.
Sarah Dingle with that report produced by Leslie Robinson.